Well, greetings. We're now within a week of this so-called Freedom Day, which is slightly ironic given that we are free-born Brits and it isn't the government's role to take away our freedoms or give us back our freedoms because they're our birthright. But of course they've taken away our freedoms and now they're very generously going to give us some of them back. Now this is how I see it panning out. There will be a massive propaganda campaign run by mainstream media, particularly the television channels, BBC in particular. They will give a platform to every fake scientist, political medic, opposition politician. All these people will be given a platform to say that this is the most dangerous thing the British people have done since 1914. They're going to try and scare us out of Freedom Day. They're trying to scare the population out of Freedom Day and the cabinet. And of course, the cabinet is weak. We have a weak but Boris Johnson is a weak man. And so consequently, they will stack all this up. We will see more opinion polls, which will come out, which will be faked. The questions will be faked. And they will give the impression that we're all happy to be locked down. We all want to live under the stairs like troglodytes. That's the next thing that they're going to do. They will continue to count cases and not mortality statistics, which gives a completely false reading. We know that very, very few healthy people are dying from this virus. Very few healthy people are dying from this virus. And that's why they won't count mortality statistics, they only count cases. And we know that the testing system is grossly inaccurate. We know that the people that invented the testing system say it was never designed for this purpose. And there's all about that on my website from the top immunologists and virologists and doctors internationally. It's all on my website, Your Health, free. Press the button, have a look if you don't believe me. Well, they're already backpedaling on face nappies. Which is a mark of subservience to the government, a perpetuation of fear. And we thought they were going to go. Well, they won't go. They won't go. They're already beginning to say that, you will be expected to wear them under certain circumstances, which is a guarantee for punch-ups because it makes it a subjective decision. So they are expecting us to wear face nappies. Well, that's going to end in tears, that whole concept. All these things will mount up. And then, of course, what will raise its ugly head again is the internal passport, the medical passport, the vaccine passport, all this kind of thing. They will not give this up. This is part and parcel of what they have wanted from the outset. And there will then be two classes of citizen. Those who have accepted mass medication and those who have not. This is what's going to happen. And you will have to get a passport, this medical passport, if you want to leave the country and go on holiday, or they will severely disrupt your holiday if you refuse to take mass medication for whatever reason. Now, this is another one of the problems. And if you concede, and a lot of people do, otherwise intelligent people concede, that if you have this vaccine certificate in order to go abroad on holiday, that's all right. Well, you see, it isn't all right, because if you honestly believe, it's very naive if you believe that it's going to stop there. It will then be necessary if you want to go to a concert, if you want to go into the theatre, if you want to go to the cinema, if you want to go into whatever crowded places of hospitality there may be. And this will be more pressure for mass vaccination. They're already starting to grumble that only half young men under 25 have submitted to mass medication. Why would they when they're in no danger? Men under 25 are in no danger whatsoever. It's zero. The danger is zero. So why would they have mass medication to prevent something that even if they get it, it's only going to keep them in bed maybe for a few days? They're now pushing for children. So this isn't going away. This freedom thing isn't going away. What they're going to do is make your life extremely difficult unless you conform. That is not freedom. That isn't freedom. And of course, there'll be so many caveats involved in giving us back little bits of our freedom. The caveats will be, of course, if you don't behave yourselves, or if we count more cases, or whatever scandalous ideas they come up with, it will return in October. They are already putting the levers of power for this lockdown or partial lockdown or mutated lockdown, if I may use that word, to come back over the winter. They're already conceding that point. So what I'm saying is that this so-called Freedom Day coming along in a week's time will be full of small print. It isn't what you think it's going to be. And it will come back in some form later in the year. Well, let's hope I'm wrong. Let's hope I'm wrong on this one. There's always a first time. As most of you know, my work is very heavily independently research based. And I get my information from all over the world. It would help if you press the subscribe button and the little bell next to it, because the more subscribers I have, the more likely it is that international independent research institutes will share their material with me. It's most helpful, and then of course I'll automatically share it with you. So, surprise, won't cost you anything. Thank you very much.